Welcome to News 6. Today's program is presented by the 6th grade classes from Washington Elementary School in Findlay, Ohio. Every city has at least one unique business, some that may be known throughout the rest of the country or even around the world. The students at Washington School have their own business and found other unique businesses around town. Let's take a look. Janet?
Have you ever seen a play where the queen did not have a crown, or dancers on Broadway without costumes? This would be strange indeed, but where do these costumes come from? Well, they just might come from Theatrical Accessories, Incorporated, in Findlay, Ohio. The business was started about 28 years ago by Miss Anderson. Her company sells only to distributors and retail people. Most of the costumes stay in the United States, but some have been shipped as far as Holland and France. Theatrical Accessories primarily makes costume kits that can be worn over leotards and tights. All the patterns are made at the shop. Most of the material comes from New York. The average cost of a Halloween costume is $7, but an all-jeweled crown can cost up to $200. The costume most often ordered is that worn by a French maid. Miss Anderson learned her sewing skills at a young age and has used them to make her business a success. She also feels that her job is a lot of fun. Christina?
When you open a can of pop, you know who made the beverage. Do you ever wonder who made the can? Balmetal is a can manufacturing plant that makes steel or aluminum cans for over 100 different beverage companies. Approximately 1.5 million cans are produced every 24 hours. The process begins by uncoiling metal and feeding it through a cupper. The cupper stamps several cups with a single stroke. Then the cups are sent through the body maker that stretches the cups into cans. The cans must be trimmed to a certain length and then washed. After drying, the cans are sent through a foil 4-colored printer, which labels a can. Lacquer is applied to the outside and inside to the plant to prevent the cans from rusting. The necker flanger shapes the neck and puts a flange or flare on the end. The top will be applied to the flange later. The cans are then ready to storage. The palletizer stacks and straps the cans into pallets. There are about 7,500 cans per pallet, and then a room in the plant to store over 60 million cans. %, less energy to make cans from recycled metal than to make them from scratch, so please save and recycle your cans. Kelly?
The 6th grade at Washington School has formed a corporation to sell pencils and buttons. The pencils say Washington Patriots on them and sell 2 for $0.25. The buttons can have nearly anything you want on them and sell for 50 cents each. The corporation has a president and a board of directors to oversee production. All advertising is handled by a sales manager. Buttons can be made while you wait. One person may draw on another cut. Still, another person may cover the button with plastic or operate the press. For each purchase made, your name is entered in a raffle, 1 for pencils and 1 for buttons. There are 3 winners chosen in each raffle. Our corporation has really been a financial success. At the beginning, all students had the chance to purchase stock at 20 cents a share with the maximum purchase of 20 shares. So far, we have made a net profit of $120, which will be divided equally among the stockholders. Besides the money, though, we have learned a lot about teamwork. Joe? Mother Goose is a spirit that lives in the heart of the children and in the mind of the adult. These words were quoted by Mother Goose herself. She is Mrs. Virginia Elsie, who runs the Mother Goose bookstore in Findlay. Mrs. Elsie dresses up in a calico dress, bonnet, and magic patchwork shoes. She often has children visit the bookstore to hear stories or to play Mother Goose games. News 6 visited the Mother Goose bookstore where Mother Goose talked with Luke Davis.
Mrs. Elsie, what kinds of things do you do?
We sometimes have a story. Yesterday there were some little girls here, and because it was a good snowstorm, we had the story of Donuts for Lynn, and it really is a true story written by an author I know out in Vermont. This little dog, this little Scotty dog, found a ring in a donut, the lady who made the donuts. So yesterday I made donuts because it was snowy, and we had donuts for our tea party here.
Could you tell us about your magic shoes?
Well, that was kind of a surprise to Mother Goose, too. I found these up in New England one time. I wasn't even looking for shoes, and my husband, we were looking, and we saw these funny shoes up on a high shelf, and I said, I wonder what those would be for. And he said, I don't know, but I think you better get them. Little did I realize now, when I tell a story, in order not to forget, I put on the magic shoes, and I can remember every word.
What is your favorite book?
Oh, I think it would be one of Peter Spear's, because he was just here. The book that's on that table there is one of his, called The Star-Spangled Banner. Peter was in Findlay, at Findlay College on January 28th, gave a wonderful talk, and the next morning he was at Mother Goose's for breakfast. And while he was here, we had some little neighbor boys, the Howells next door, and he drew for them, and they drew for him, and he drew a picture of his new book that'll be coming out called Jonah.
Thank you, Mother Goose. This is Luke Davis reporting for News 6.
Mrs. Elsie also feels that while computers are important to understand, wisdom will still come from things uniquely human, such as poetry. Mary?
Do you know how long it takes to make a violin by hand? Well, Mr. Fred Warren spends about 300 hours at it, and that's after the wood has dried out for at least 7 years. Although Mr. Warren made his first instrument in high school, he waited until retirement to do it seriously. First, the neck is made. This takes a lot of careful carving and sanding. Next comes the body. The top is made first and then is used as a pattern for the back. The back is tuned to the note G. The pitch may be raised or lowered by thinning down the inside of the or outside edge. Thickness may vary depending on the hardness of the wood, but usually the back is 2.5 millimeters on the edges and 4 millimeters in the middle. The sides are 1 millimeter and the top is 2.5 millimeters all around. Although he does not play, Mr. Warren makes fine instruments. One of his violins won honorable mention, and a viola won second place for tone and quality in a national competition. Fred Warren is indeed a most interesting craftsman. We are both proud and privileged to have our own community fiddle maker. Joe?
Thanks for watching. We hope that you've enjoyed this look at some unusual types of business in Findlay. Have a good week.